Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on in. Grab a seat, grab a tea, get extra comfy. Hi, if you're new here. My name is Yuki Boobuki, princess of all things spooky and ooky, but the only thing scary about me is how much work I'm putting into stream. So this is the short before the storm. This is a little video that I am making before the 30-day posting challenge post, which I hope a lot of people ask questions, but I think a lot of people ask questions of like, why are you a full-time creator and like not full-time creator numbers? Why you do this? Why you do that? Why? So I wanted to give like a very TLDR of life behind the fox, but I'm also a troll, so it'll be a little silly. So hi, welcome on in. If you are new here, I am Yuki. I have been a streamer and content creator for 7 years on Twitch and for about 4 or 5 on YouTube. And yes, I am a YouTube partner tier 1. We are pushing for YouTube partner tier 2. Very cool, very great. And my start to streaming isn't as glamorous or glorious or cool like others where they're like, I'm just the best and I had $5 billion debut. Awesome, cool. But I'm sure there's also a lot of people who had kind of like rocky, rough reasons for starting. The reason why I started streaming was depression, which is crazy to say, but back in about 2017, I had kind of like a huge change in home life and circumstances and stuff. I was working retail. I was fixed to start classes to become like a pharmacy tech. We were going to Kool-Aid. I was majoring in computer science and programming, which blows people's mind because I give off a very dumb girl energy. And that's because I am. I will not say that I was doing the best in college. I was doing great in all the programming classes from like high school and their like advancement courses or whatever they had you take, but like as soon as I put my big toe into the Kool-Aid, it got significantly harder and I was struggling, but I probably could have made it. I believe. But yeah, so I was a normal, everyday, average Joe, a hard worker, working mans. All right, I go to works, I go to schools, I come homes. Fox mom is disabled. She is paralyzed from the waist down. She had her back and neck broken 6 different places. It was kind of like a care trade-off between me, my sibling, Papa unit, right? So like, I go work, someone's with her. You know what I mean? He go work, I'm with her, right? So on and so forth. However, the hands-offs were. Well, during that time, like I said, the big change in life circumstances, there was no more like trading off. So Fox Papa was like, I take care of you. Will you just stay homes? And I did try to do online college and I did end up like failing a lot. So I got depressed and dropped out of that. But I did like quit job, come home, help take care. I am a officially stay-at-home Fox caregiver. And I don't know why I took it so hard. Probably because I felt like at the time a lot of things weren't going my way. You know, I'm still trying to study, but it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. Or I think it's probably the worst depression like a person ever had. Like I was not taking care of myself at all. But I was doing like the most for everybody else. So probably like you're like, well, why didn't your parents notice? Why didn't whatever? Like because I was still active. I guess it's not like they couldn't ever get me out of bed or anything. So I'm going to assume it's probably something like that. Cause like, I don't know how to say this without everybody freaking out. I didn't care about me, but I still cared about others, right? Like I was like, I've reached the bottom. do not care no mas, right? And I like cried every day. And I just moped around. A mopey. And that went on for like 2 years. And God bless Ryan, Fox husband, try so hard. You know, like have games, have food, snackies, takeout, delivery, you know, let's watch movies, TV, something, have how to fix, do not know. And at the time, our friend group really watched a lot of streamers. They was on Twitch a lot, and they were like sending clips and stuff, and I'm like, because I'm a boomer, I literally approach it like, what is this? And the Fox husband was like, it's Twitch. You go on there and people stream themselves playing video games. And I'm like, what? People do that? And so like we started watching some stuff, and I think at the time like Among Us was like just getting popular, or you know, there was a lot of group collabs, I feel like, around that time. So like it's all these people and they're in like big friend groups and big hangouts, and you know, they're laughing and having fun and all that stuff. And I'm like, can I do this? And he was like, yeah, if you want, we can figure it out. And then boom, I'm a streamer. So during this period of time, streaming and content, at least watching and consuming it, had really perked me up. And then I got super motivated when I was like, I could build a community and I could play all my favorite games and I could share all my stuff and like be so very for real right now. What if I have everybody loves Final Fantasy, and I will meet all of the people that love Square Enix as much as I do, and then I'll meet all the people that just, you know, cool. Like I'll make, everybody will be my friend. And I started out as an IRL cosplay streamer, and then I got bullied. Which is always kind of the worst part of the story, when I'm like, man, I was so sad and depressed. So I started streaming so I would stop being sad and depressed to make friends. And then I was bullied. So, I wanted to quit. I did it for like a year that way, trying and pushing, and like some days I would see like great stuff and I'd be like, yep, it's totally worth it. And then some days, you know, people would be like, you're so ugly, and I'd be like, it's not worth it. And it was a roller coaster. And if you ever go back and look through the stats, you could see where I would like stream really consistently and then like fall off. Like knocking me off the horse was not hard. And then 1 month before my affiliate anniversary, my 1-year affiliate anniversary, I saw the beautiful creature, Iron Mouse. And another boomer comment part 2, I was like, what's that anime? I want to watch that. I like her singing. Makes me happy. And then Fox husband was like, that's not anime. That's face rig. And I'm like, the heck is face rig? Blink. I ain't never heard of this before in my entire life. Now, we of course dug a little deeper into VTubing and did a bunch of research. And my first model was a V-board, much like this one, and we used 𝑓, if anybody remembers 𝑓. And I was a PNG tubes for a while, which I do want to, if anybody remembers me from that time, they probably don't. I am so sorry that I would come into your streams and ask you a bagillion questions, because I had no streamer etiquette, all right? The self-promo out of me was insane, because I'm like, I'm gonna become a VTuber just like you, tell me all of your secrets. Like, but I didn't know that was bad. Okay, I was a fledgling, I was a child, I'm so sorry. If anybody from that time is like, alright, I know that name, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. But like I wasn't really sure how else to learn, because that was before being a VTuber was cool, and there wasn't like a lot of tutorials or videos, or you know, everything that I did learn was from bothering people. And trust me, I was bothering. I'm like, hey, tell me all of your secrets. And a lot of people actually, very surprisingly, I will say, are very much so like, no. So I did this to a lot of streamers, okay? Because there's a lot of people at the time that were like, I gatekeep my stuff. And so yeah, in 1 month, I got scammed out of a model 3 times, accidentally won a Twitter raffle. I got everything set up the night before, and then I debuted my VTuber journey on my affiliate anniversary. I played Nier Automata, and I made probably the worst jokes. I didn't have a slideshow. I didn't do a festival. I didn't do a party palooza loops. You know, I didn't properly introduce myself. I didn't have intros and outros and raid messages and music, or, you know, I just well, actually we got some music from like Adobe or whatever, right? Like we did try it. I think the stream looked really nice. And now I'm here. And after becoming a VTuber, I have definitely attained a lot more of the stuff that I was looking for from streaming, and I would say that I probably did it a lot more as a hobby, but as I have grown, as I have learned, as I have trained, as I have talked to people, everybody is always so nice, and they're like, you're a bright light, you're a beacon, you are the person that I look for on the bad days. And this whole posting journey and stuff is that I want to reach more people. I would like to have more people in the community. I want to continue to be bright, but I want to be bright for everybody, right? Streaming helped me so much when I was struggling. I want to make sure that I help you guys so much when you're struggling. I want to give you a place where you can laugh and relax and chill and be happy and be cool and have a great time and all that jazz. So yeah, I know, statistically it's probably really weird to be like, why haven't you given up? Or why do you keep trying? And actually during this period of time, between becoming a VTuber and now, I have actually had worked a few jobs. We went to school and became an insurance agent for a while. I didn't pass the final exam thing or whatever, and they ended up letting me go, which is crazy. Believe it or not, they actually told me I wasn't nice enough or happy enough. But like, you're filing car insurance claims for people who were in accidents, kind of hard to not cry a little sometimes. Curse me for having a heart. I've worked a couple retail jobs, I've taken a couple cleaning jobs, saved a couple babysitting jobs here and there. I am working on opening commissions, as you guys may know, to add to Yuki Tragedy story. The last job that I took, I worked at Walmart for Christmas to buy my family Christmas presents, of which I've suffered a severe injury to my leg and I cannot walk. So if you're like, maybe you should keep your job, I actually can't walk. So the ending isn't this, because I'm still going to keep streaming, and like I said, I'm doing this big push challenge because I want to reach more community. I want people to feel comfortable talking. I want people to feel comfortable sharing their interests. You know, a lot of people sometimes just suggest something and like, I'll run with it. I'll go crazy. That's what I'm doing with Warhammer. It's what I'm doing with Toho. It's what I'm doing with Project Moon Lobotomy Company Corporation. Maybe I need a lobotomy. I don't know. I take your interest and I'll try. Like, I love Elden Ring and I love Dark Souls and I love Bloodborne and I love like everything that I've gotten to experience with you guys. Actually, you guys made me fall in love with horror. I didn't like horror stuff before I started streaming. You know, I just want to meet people and I want to have good times and good vibes. So whatever happens from this challenge, whether we grow, don't grow, community, don't community, I just want to try my best to feel like an actual full-time content creator. I want to try to, I guess, prove to myself I can be a full-time content creator, and that I have people. I did it. I hit my mission. I have people. But thank you for listening to my wild tangent-y rant. I just felt like there's going to be a lot of like, that's so weird, but this is me. This is my story. I started because I was lacking something in my life, and I think that I really found it. I found passion, I found motivation, I found goals. You know, I faced a lot of my fears, like I said, about the horror. I've actually posted my first covers last year, trying to stretch out more in voice acting. Haven't got a gig yet, but trying. And the idea behind this also is, like, I want to do ASMR. I want to learn to edit better. I want to learn to content flow better. Like, how good can you keep this up? How good can you be at posting, scheduling, planning, working? Like, there's a lot of life skills that you can get out of being a content creator, VTuber, or streamer. I will apologize to you guys, though, is that I have always been me. I've never been a character. If there is one thing I could go back in time and change about my debut, I would probably try to have, I don't know, like a roleplay segment or roleplayed a little harder. We're in too deep. I'm too much of a person and not enough VTuber to fix that. I think, I don't know. But yeah. This turned out a lot longer than I thought it would. But basically, I'll end this by saying, for everybody that has been here through the journey, for everybody who's even just passed through, I appreciate you greatly. I appreciate the time you've given me, and I appreciate everything that you guys have taught me about myself and about being a friend and about being a content creator and about being a light. I definitely will say that emotionally, right, and mentally, I have changed a lot for the better. And it is because of y'all's advice, guidance, help, all the tutorials, acting, whatever, So I hope that this challenge teaches me something cool. That's my ultimate end goal. Everything else is just a bonus. And I hope you guys enjoy the content, and I hope you guys enjoy the fun things that come after. God bless you guys, and thank you so much for listening to me. And I am gonna go make more videos. Help, I'm a workaholic. I can't help it. It's your fault. I love you guys too dang much to stop. So I will see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Bookie boo. Bye.